Hello, good evening. This is Brother Benson Media, and today is on a Saturday. We are blessed to have this opportunity to just have a conversation, more so on the things which are happening in the Republic of Kenya. Not forgetting, first, allow me to take this opportunity and on behalf of Brother Benson Media, and together with our good brothers and sisters, those who support us in one way or another, to convey our condolences to the families of the affected victims of the floods that have been pounding the whole country and specifically in Nairobi. I want to take this opportunity to just, of course, send our condolences and say sorry to the affected families. And before, again, we start the conversation, allow me to take this opportunity to welcome Miguda. I saw Msimamo, I think is coming back. Not forgetting at the comment section, good year, thank you so much. And just to remind you all that this is Brother Benson Media. And however, we do say that your opinion counts. Allow me to give this opportunity to Mguda to say hi before we proceed. Tuambie mali ako, whether it is raining and what kind of distractions has he seen in where he is. Miguda.
Okay, thank you, bro. First, let me also welcome to the show. And first, I want to convey my deepest condolence to the victims, families who were affected by these floods. I was not aware up to right now when you are just informing me before we come to the studio that people died. That was not in my center of information. So first, I want to pass my condolence, and I've received that news with a great shock because I was not updated. Today I was in church the whole day, you understand? So I was not able to access news. So poleni sana for the victims and the families. I also want to welcome our viewers to Brother Benson Media and actually appeal to them to kindly subscribe, share the channel, and also be part of the members. Allow me also to welcome our good friend, our good bro, Goodia, to the show, and also feel welcome. Makobura, I can report to you that where I am, it's not news. It is all over. The bridge, the water in the bridge has overwhelmed. The bridge has been closed. It has been shut down. People are using alternative route until Chinese will come back to erect that bridge. So I think where I am, I don't have a road. On my way to Nairobi, I'll pass some villages to reach there. So there's a problem. There was no location, be it county or national government. But we have not claimed any life which has been lost. Though properties has been destroyed, foodstuffs, houses, households have been destroyed. Some homes have been swept away. Animals, some people rear pigs, chicken, they have been swept away by water because it caught us unaware. And how I wish I could have shared with you. Actually, I'm going to share with you. Why I forgot. I'm going to share with you and Brother Benson the videos so that you can be updated. But because I've shared with a lot of people, but I've forgotten you people. So it's not good where I am. It's very bad. The only difference is that we have not claimed any life, but so far we don't have a bridge. It is going down tonight. I think by tomorrow we will not have it because already there is a crack by the roadside. So it's just the cement holding, but whatever was put there to hold cement has gone down. So I think it's a matter of time. It's going down, and right now we have the divers, and we also have the vehicle that the one that can carry people, the excavator one, so that in case of anything, people will be rescued by the divers. So I think they are very alert. It has been close, totally close, so we don't have a road. So that's the situation where I am. It's not easy. The road has been closed. Only human beings are allowed to pass no vehicle, no motorbike. So I don't know if in case it breaks tonight with the human being, but the government in the county have taken measurements, and actually there are people around there who are just standby. In case of anything, they'll come to the rescue station. So that's where we are. There is no politician or any person who has actually tried to talk about the issue. So I'll share with the videos, you'll see them.
Okay, thank you so much, Miguda. And I just want us to get straight to the discussion, and you know, what more specifically, what I mean, what was witnessed in Nairobi. Nairobi is drowning, streets turned into rivers, homes destroyed, families mourning loved ones. Loved ones, of course, some of them lost to the floods. This isn't just a natural disaster, it's a human made crisis born of poor drainage, failed planning, and years of neglect. I would like to frame it that way because what we are seeing in Nairobi, we are seeing buildings being erected everywhere, some of them near the riverbanks. Some of these buildings on top of the drainage systems. And yet, as citizens fight for survival, we are seeing politics marching on. ODM, of course, is planning their meeting. UDA is planning their political meetings. Opposition and government, they are all in politics. And so the question that I'd want to hear from you, Miguda, is do you think leaders should prioritize response over party politics? And if they don't, what does that say about their values? And specifically, you say that you didn't know about the deaths. So far, there were almost 25 deaths reported, and it is being said that there could be quite a number of people who are still missing. As a Kenyan and somebody who has been in Nairobi, what are your views about this consistent drainage, and especially the one that we saw yesterday? I was in town, and I can tell you I got home almost 2, 3 in the night. And not just that, quite a number of people, vehicles destroyed. What are your views about what is happening in Nairobi, Migod?
Thank you, Makubura, for that question. Personally, before I respond to your question, me, I'm affected. They have told you. And right now, I'm stressed up because I'm supposed to be traveling. Like I've told you, I'm supposed to be traveling to Nairobi. I'm stressed up because I'm supposed to travel tomorrow or Monday. But I don't have a bridge where I'm coming from. The bridge is going down tonight. And I usually use the Galaxy. So I'm also stressed up because I don't know at what time will I reach Nairobi. When I reach Nairobi, I'll reach Nairobi around evening or night to say so. I don't know the situation. I might get into the floods or the estate I'm supposed to. I don't know. So I'm affected, and many other people. So I'm stressed up. I don't know what to do. But let me tell you, there is one thing. We have a poor drainage in Nairobi. And this is not the first time. Remember, most of the time when we are at the CBD at night and the rain falls, you either like in my case, I was proposing. Me, I can just stay still until tomorrow because you don't know where you're going to. That's not the stress you're in. And when I'm in the estate, I must stay still until the situation gets better. And this issue of drainage we have been discussing for a quite long time. With the governor of Nairobi, we have discussed the issue with the county government of Nairobi, the municipality. it has been an issue in the county assembly, extension to the National Assembly, because even the Nairobi lawmakers are within the parliament premises. So this is not something that is new, and it has been claiming lives from time immemorial. The other time it claims lives, this also is it claims lives, and even not only lives but even properties. Properties have been destroyed. If I'm a businessman, if I destroy my properties, I'm going to start afresh. Maybe you have to the business. So these things have been there, and so when times we try to criticize the government, don't don't panic or don't measure us according to our standard or whatever. Sometimes we are very much, not sometimes, most of the times we are very much genuine because this issue we have been raising. But if you are saying, oh, you people, you are opposing everything, what's your alternative? What do you want? You only know how to oppose, you don't have any agenda. But right now people are dying because of the floods, poor drainage. Properties have been destroyed. So I think even though I've not had news today because I told I've been in church, but I believe that no politician has condemned the the issue of the drainage, or no politicians come with the amicable solution on how they can forge ahead to solve this issue. And no politician, even the president, has addressed this issue. I stand guided. So up to now, they are busy. What I'm receiving right now, before I get to the studio, that Gashaka was in Meru, ODM was in Narok, and Ruto was seen somewhere in Kilgoris with some lawmakers. So those are the information I'm receiving right now. And there's no information I've received that these people have come out to look for the amicable way to resolve this issue. So I'm disappointed to our leaders. I'm disappointed to our politicians. I'm disappointed to the county government of Nairobi, because this issue of drainage has been a problem in Nairobi. They have been just buying time. They want to be voted in back to 2027. How? And this issue affects everyone. Like I've told you, not even people who are coming, people who are going to travel. Like I've told you, me and the team. I don't know what to do because I'm stranded. So I can tell you, bro, it's not easy until it affects you. Until you become a victim, that's when you know that there's a problem in this country. But when you're not a victim, you'll be yelling all over that, oh, to say you're in the government, you keep off. Which government? You say, okay, you people, you know, I'm going to oppose. What do you have? What do you know? What's your alternative? Bring your alternatives. But this until you become a victim. Just like I told you the other day, you can celebrate when Ojwang died. You can celebrate that, okay, he went too far, he's a young person. Or you can celebrate when Baba died. But until your sister or your brother is killed by police, that's when you know that it is not easy. You'll understand human rights until it reaches your doorstep. So anytime we are out to fight for the human rights and good governance, you should be the first person trying to also support the people who are there advocating for those issues. You should not be the person trying to object or bring the people who are fighting for good governance and human rights down. You should be the one you should be the one behind the curtain trying to boost us, because we are not only fighting for ourselves and our families, but we are fighting and advocating for the entire nation. Because when it works for you, it works for me. When it works for a Masai, it works for a Rendile, it works for a Borana, it works for a Luya, it works for the Kenyan people, and even it works for the foreigners. Let me tell you an example. Yesterday, we had foreigners in this country, in Nairobi. The foreigners also, if their vehicle can be swept, they can die. So when we are trying to bring this issue of good governance, human rights, you don't view it as if we are the people who are affected. All of us are victims. So before it reaches you, you should always be where the people are and advocate for good governance and human rights. So Makubura, that's my point. Unless you can update me if there is any statement by any politician. So far, I haven't received that information.
Thank you so much. And allow me to just welcome Simamo. And Simamo would also tell us where he is. I mean, the area, the situation of, as Kenya is receiving quite a number of troubling news of death caused by flood. You can tell us where you are, what is really happening, Msimamo. But again, Nairobi, just like I told Miguda, is drowning. The streets are turned into rivers, homes destroyed, family mourning, loved ones lost to the floods. And of course, this is not just a natural disaster, Mr. Msimamo. This is a man-made crisis born of poor drainage, failed planning, and years of neglect. And all this has been done by the political class. Msimamo, what are your views on this particular situation that is currently affecting the people of Nairobi and other counties within the Republic of Kenya?
Okay, asante ndugu yangu Mark, ndugu yangu hapa Mliguda, lakini vile kule upande wa pili, upande wa comment section kukiongozwa na ndugu yetu hapa shabiki wa kweli, ndugu yetu wa Mbavuni Gudia. Kiukweli kwanza ni pia nitoe rambirambi zangu kwa wale ambao ni wahanga walioathirika haswa na mafuriko yale, haswa wale ambao waliweza kupoteza maisha, lakini vile vile walipoteza mali, lakini vile vile haswa yote yale ambayo yamejiri haswa hususan katika jiji letu la Nairobi. Kiukweli ni kwamba wakati huu mvua zipo mpaka tunavyoongea huko pia zanyesha rangi ya juzi, lakini hazijakuwa na athari kubwa vile kwa kusababisha maafa, lakini tuna wasiwasi kwa sababu the more maji yanashuka kutoka juu huko, alafu na vinyo ambavyo huku nako mvua inaongezeka kila uchao, basi kuna wasiwasi, lakini pia tunamwomba Mungu. Turudi tu katika hii hali si mara ya kwanza haswa kutokea hali kama hii katika hili taifa, hususan kipindi hiki ambacho haswa kiongozi wa taifa aliyopo madarakani haswa alikuwepo. Naona ni mara ya pili hii, lakini statement ambayo ameweza kuisoma na kuieleza na kuweza kuishi kwamba ataweza consent na kuweza kuwa fadhili na kuweza kuwatengenezea makao na yote yale ambayo ameweza kuyazungumza katika hiyo statement, sijaiona tofauti na ile ingine. Cha ajabu ni kwamba haswa angalau tungekuwa na mfano wa yale yaliyotokea mara ya kwanza, basi hata hili tungekuwa na wasiwasi, ni kwamba hatungekuwa na wasiwasi, tungejua kwamba bila shaka haswa pia wataweza kufidiwa na pia ile hasara, na pia haswa wale ambao ni wahanga, basi mambo yaweza fanyika. Hilo ni la kwanza. La pili, utepetevu wa viongozi hususan haswa wa kaunti ya jiji la Nairobi na serikali nzima, kwa sababu pale ndio kitovu haswa cha taifa letu. Kwa maana hiyo hakungefaa yatokee yale ambayo yametokea, na ukizingatia kwamba ni mahali ambapo ama ni mji ambao unabeba watu wengi. Kwa hivyo masuala na drainage yalikuwa yanapaswa kutoa kipaumbele, si sasa hivi yaambiwe tena kwamba yanatafutiwa suluhu ya kudumu. Awali ya kwanza pia nayo yalisemekana yatatafuta suluhu ya kudumu. So kiukweli hii ni waibu, ili kudhihirisha Mungu jinsi anavyofanya kazi yake haswa kati ya ndani ya mwanadamu ama kati yetu haswa kama wanadamu. So pesa zikiharibiwa kwa kuweza kuwanunua wale ambao wataweza kujiunga kwao, na kwa sababu ya power, yani pesa zikitolewa kiholela, sasa hizi zadai kutengeneza drainage ambayo inaathiri maisha ya wengi, biashara za wengi, makazi ya wengi. Angalau pesa hiyo ingetunzwa na kutengenezwa hili, wala hatungelishuhudia kwa sasa hivi. Kwa hiyo yangu nikimalizia, ndugu yangu Mark, ni kwamba tunahitaji viongozi wapya kwamba watakaoendeleza hili taifa. Hakuna kingine ambacho haswa kitatusaidia hapa wala kutuokoa zaidi ya haya ambayo tunayashuhudia kwamba naye wana power ndio ambayo iko machoni. So watu wanatumia rasilimali ya nchi kwa yasiyofaa, lakini yale ambayo yanatija basi yanapewa kisogo mpaka mwisho wa siku. Sasa tukikumbuka shuka ni kama hivi kumekucha, ni saa 12 ndo viongozi wanakumbuka shuka. Kwa hivyo hiyo ndo ufunguzi wangu haswa wa hili la Nairobi, lakini vilevile na sehemu zingine za nchi ambazo zinakumbwa na hali sawia ya mafuriko kama hivi. Ni jukumu la serikali kuhakikisha kwamba inalinda na kutunza mali haswa ya Mkenya. So inapofail kwa kuwa na poor drainage kama hivi, basi inatia kichefuchefu na inaonyesha wazi kwamba uongozi uliopo both wa kaunti ya Nairobi na ule wa serikali kuu hauko serious kabisa kwa masuala haya ya majanga. Maana siku zote unaambiwa usike mgomba ungali wima, ukiwacha ukianguka, basi utaikosa hiyo ndizi na pia mgomba utakosa. Ni kama hivi tunashuhudia magari yaliyoharibika, hasara kubwa, lakini vile vile pia maisha ya wanadamu pia yameweza kuangamia. Na ukiambua watu 20 basi jua ni watu 60, maana kuna kule kuficha ugonjwa, japo mwisho wa siku tunasema wanatibiwa. Asante.
Okay, asante sana Msimamo kwa kutupea maoni yako, tashukuru. Allow me to acknowledge the presence of a good friend Gen Z 001 Judith Judicious. Thank you so much for finding time to join us as well. We really appreciate. And of course, not forgetting everyone who is watching us at the comment section. We really appreciate your time and of course your presence. Mr. Miguda, I'm coming to you. I want to get your views more so on the human impact, because the floods in Nairobi aren't new, Mr. Miguda. Every rainy season we see the same story: roads submerged, homes destroyed, families displaced. But this time the death toll is rising and the destruction is unbearable. And one thing I can also tell you is what we are experiencing today, there are higher possibility that the floods that are going to happen next year will be more destructive than what we saw this year. That has always been the circle. It has always increased as the years are coming. And the most painful bit is that today there was serious destruction, loss of life. The government is fully aware, the responsible people are fully aware that next year it is going to be a mass destruction, but they opt not to put the right mechanisms to ensure that they deal with these particular disasters. That brings me to you, Miguda. Think of families forced to sleep in schools, turned into shelters, or children wedding through the contaminated water. These are not actually statistics. These are lives, Mr. Miguda. Msimamo, these are lives. People dying. I don't know whether you saw bodies being collected. Those are lives. And you know how life is a sacred thing. How are we going to solve this problem as a people? Because now, up to this point, it seems and looks like it's a normal thing to the political class, and that is why they do not take more serious concerns. Do you believe Nairobi's flooding is simply a nature at work, or is it a failure of leadership? And if it is leadership, who should be held accountable at this particular moment? And again, another question that you can give me your take, Mr. Miguda, is now that the citizens are fully aware that the government, through the leadership, are not doing something positive to ensure that they curb this, how are they going to, ensure that they are safe, especially when they're living within these areas, not just Nairobi, Kisumu, the Kano Plains, and other counties. Miguda, what is your take?
Okay, thank you, bro. First, before I respond to your question, allow me to welcome Msimamo and pass my greetings to him because I've never passed my greetings to him the other day and today. Msimamo, welcome to the show. And also allow me to welcome our good friend.
Mike, unaweza sogea mike kidogo tu ndugu yangu, angalau tu.
Maybe
Maana
the problem sometimes can be in you, not the entire people. Obura, can you get me?
yeah, now I can get you.
Yes, I
Okay,
can hear you.
so sometimes maybe it's an individual problem, not the entire people. So I'm very close to my mic. I was passing my greetings to you, Msimamo. First, I was passing my greetings to you because I haven't passed my greetings to you since last week. And also, I wanted to welcome our good friend and Judy to the show. So let me proceed. First, I've talked about the issue of safety of the people, the issue of lives, because it's a duty. You asked me a very significant question. I just want to respond to you straight that the responsibility is vested to the government because they have a duty to ensure that we are safety. They have a duty to ensure that our lives are protected. They have a duty to ensure that our properties are protected. Not that our lives should be protected by guns or the properties should be protected by guns. There are some circumstances like flooding right now whereby you don't need a gun to protect my life. And also, so I was saying sometimes you might not need a gun to protect the lives. The same times you might not need officers to protect properties. So what do? When you don't need a police officer or a gun to protect lives and properties, so sometimes you find out that what we need in Nairobi flooding is the drainage to be restored. Just like I've told you, when we were campaigning in 2022, there were promises by the current governor that once elected, we'll sort out the issue of drainage in Nairobi. Up to right now, it hasn't been sorted out. So you cannot bring me to the people that what can the people do, not what can the people do. To me, what can the government do to ensure that they are done with this flooding issue in Nairobi? Because that the people who have a duty and responsibility to ensure that we are safe, our lives are protected, our properties are protected. But before I delve into the issue of safety of the people, flooding has come with a lot of issues. First, we have an issue of people dying, lives are lost. But remember, you have talked about the school children. The school kids, there are some waterborne diseases that can affect them as a result of stagnant water. Because these waters can go to the estate and they're stagnant. So after they are stagnant, kids can have contamination within the estate and they can lead to some waterborne diseases, which is not good for the young people and for the human beings at large. So we are at risk when it comes to the issue of diseases. We are at risk because of our lives. Death can happen anytime. For government to ensure that we don't expose the young people, we don't expose Kenyans to such diseases at the same time, we don't expose Kenyans to death. We need to ensure that the duty bearers, that's the government, and I was specific about the Nairobi County because this is in Nairobi. I talked about River Nyando, Kisumu County. The government in place at county level should come clear and put measures on how it can bring this issue of drainage, on how it can bring this issue of bridge, like the issue of Nyando, and not only bridge, but also you find out that there's a case right now whereby a certain river was diverted because during the rainy season, it was affecting someone's farm. Then that person decided to divert it to another river. So right now, that river, which has never been overflowing, is overflowing because it was interfered with by the big man syndrome in this country. So in my view, I believe that the duty is vested in the government, that they're the people who need to ensure that we are safe, our lives are protected in whatever capacity, be it flooding, be it theft, be it threats, be it whatever. Our lives are protected and our properties are protected as well, wherever we are in this country, because we established this government as a people. It's a people's government, and they should provide services to the people, not themselves. Like I've told you, it's always nice and juicy when you are not a victim or your relative or family. But when you're a victim or your relative or family, that's when you realize that something needs to be done. Just like I've told you, personally, me, I've been affected with this flood, and many other people, some friends, some families. So when it reaches into your doorsteps, that's when you realize that it's very much important to always fight for good governance and human rights. People tend to believe that human rights only end in bullets when they are being killed or abducted, or even this issue of floods. These human beings' lives have been claimed here. So, to me, their lives has been destroyed. Death has occurred.
Okay, thank you so much, Miguda, for also finding time to give us your take. And I can see, I don't know what's wrong with your internet. Uh-huh. Okay. Okay. Thank you for coming back. You had not finished your statement. I
That
don't know.
Yeah, I'm not finished. Allow me to finish. I'm sorry for what has happened. I'm saying death has occurred here, and when the death has occurred, so it means that humanity has been lost here. So any circumstances or any occurrence that claim the lives of the people, to me, that is violation of people's rights, violation of human rights. To me, it's crimes against humanity in whatever circumstances, because they were measurements and the duty bearers and those who are responsible, we should ensure that they are done with that issue earlier, because we have people who predict weather before, the people who can predict for us that in times and seasons of this particular time, we can have heavy rains in the country. So we should be preparing. Like I've told you where I am right now, people are there they are standby. The divers are standby. So in case of anything happen, they will have to rescue that life. That's how it should be. The government should ensure that they are alert, they are standby for the sake of the Kenyans' lives and Kenyans' properties, because that's the basic duty of the government. That's why we are establishing a government, so that we are establishing a government for the government to protect our lives and properties by all means. And just like I've told you in this channel, and Bro Benson was here, the protection of lives and property is not limited within the context of Kenyan geographical area. Even Kenyans who are abroad, Kenyans who are not in this country, the Kenyans who are everywhere in the world, wherever they are, it is a duty of the government to ensure that they are protected wherever they are, because they should always protect our citizens. Like, you know what happened to our citizens when they were in Tanzania, the so-called activists, what Tanzanians did to them. You saw our citizens were abducted in Uganda. Those things should not be done to our citizens. Our citizens should be free, and our president should always fight for their rights internally and externally. So whenever they are abducted or arrested in foreign countries, we should move very swift to ensure that we restore their dignity, and also we get what we call diplomatic relationship between two countries, so that we understand on how we can extradite them, extradition back to the country. So it should be an agreement between two states, even whether our citizens are in Canada, like what happened to Nduta when the Vietnam authority found out that he was supposed to be hanged according to the Vietnam laws. The former President Uhuru Kenyatta had to intervene very swiftly so that our citizen should be tried back here. So we should protect these lives even when there's a crime, right? When there's a crisis or crisis in the world. Like right now, you have seen Americans protecting their citizens in Iran. You have seen Americans protecting their citizens abroad. That's how it should be. Kenyans first, the citizens first, not the foreigners, not the colonizers who colonize us. You know, in our case, it's different. We give priority to the foreigners, not our people. So that's also a major concern as government in place. The people who matters, the people who are first prioritized are Kenyans, not the foreigners, not only internally, but even externally, so that we can end this debate. We should not treat lives of the people like animals or dogs, even though I'm saying so, but remember, even animals have rights. Even dogs have rights. So Kenyans should be safety. Kenyans should be protected by all means, their lives and their properties.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Thank you. I don't know whether you had finished your, you know, but it's okay. We've talked about politics, and you did give or say that you saw the opposition were in Meru. You also said that ODM were in a certain place. The political dimension of this ODM, ODM planned a meeting, likely to strategize, to discuss the party's direction, and to show unity. But Orengo and Sifuna team saying no. They refuse to attend, and they're also saying that it is not structured and it is not proper as per the constitution. That is the statement that Orengo was made. Was this principled stand? Was it political strategy? Or was it simply detachment from the suffering of citizens, Mr. Miguda? Politics is all about perception, and in times of crisis, perception becomes reality. If leaders are absent when citizens suffer, the people see the abandonment. And so, what are your views on the political dimensions of all these politics that are being done across the country at a point where the people are suffering in different places? Miguda. Miguda.
Yeah, okay, very good. The politicians are very busy, understand politics and politicians. Politicians, they just want what belongs to them. To them, it's about interest. Right now, they are running very fast because of the 2027 elections. They are trying to create perception. They're looking for narratives. They're letting on how they can manipulate the electorates. So they're very busy trying to. Some people are busy trying to convince Ruto to give them deputy president position. Some people are also busy trying to get formation alliances here and there. They are very busy and there's a lot happening. Whatever you are seeing on the rallies, whatever you are seeing on the video clips, or whatever you are hearing from radio, that is just a non-issue. Major things are happening at night. People are meeting, people are consolidating, people are strategizing, people are finalizing, and people are very busy. Most of these politicians, they are not sleeping, not busy discussing issues affecting the common mwananchi, not busy trying to look for the solutions of the common mwananchi problems. They are busy for their own interests to merge. They are busy to ensure that the interests are fulfilled. That's why they are busy. They don't have time for us. They don't have time for the common mwananchi. So if you are there dreaming that the political dimension gonna favor the common mwananchi, then I'm sorry, because you are dreaming for real. You are not the reality. They are very busy with their own interests and they don't care what happened to us. Whatever they are giving us is just a propaganda about road, housing, about SHA, about fuel levy, about education, employment. That's a propaganda and giving peanuts some few people job here and there. But majority of the people are not having job. Majority of the roads are not constructed. Majority of the people who cannot pay for SHA, the government is not paying for them. House levy, fuel levy is on neck of the payslips people. So there's no way, there's no miracle gonna happen with the dimension, with perception. What you must understand and also get it right, they are creating a narrative whereby they are creating for the opposition and the government. So if you are in government opposition, you are ever having one narrative. Either maybe you want to send Ruto to Sugoi, or Ruto want to defend his seat. So that's why they are so busy trying to gauge the people. We don't have time for such things. Like me myself, I don't have time for such things. I don't have time to listen to those things because it is not adding any value. What I want to say, the people are not safe. Kenyans are not safe. You are not safe, I'm not safe. We are on our own. And sometimes it is very much important to take good care of you because the government cannot take care of you. You should take your personal initiative on how you can make sure that you are free from some calamities like these floods. You try so hard so that you see on how you can get rid of them. You are free from police brutality because, or you are free from those arrest, abduction. You try to be very vigilant wherever you are because no one is coming to protect you. The person who's vested the authority to protect you is the one who's going to kill you. The person who has the authority to ensure that you have safer environment are the one not going to provide for that safer environment. You get the point? So in my own view and analysis as a Kenyan, it's not, it's never easy. Let us now open the reality part of it. Let us not live in this delusional or these theories or whatever these promises. The reality part of it, that we are not in the right place. We are moving in a wrong direction as a country. We are not going to the right direction. The things are not working. Everything's not working. It's in fashion. I don't care which position you are taking. But Kenya is not on the right path. Let me tell you for a fact. You might be delayed by promises. You might be delayed by handouts. You might be delayed by some small token here and there. As time goes by, buy time, go to the rallies, listen to them. But are we solving the real issues on the ground? No, I don't think so. So politics, politicians, and the real issues affecting the people and the real issues concerning the community is quite different. It's like day and night. Whatever they're planning, whatever the people are feeling. Back to you, Makubo.
Okay, thank you so much. And Msimamo, thank you for finding time to come back. And kabla ukuje, I had asked a question, had asked Migud a question about the human impact, where we are seeing the floods in Nairobi aren't new, but every rainy season we see same story: roads submerged, homes destroyed, family displaced. But this time, the death toll is rising and destruction is unbearable. Think of families forced to sleep in schools turned into shelter, children wading through contaminated water. These are not just statistics, but they are lives. So, Msimamo, do you think Nairobi flooding is simply a nature at work, or is it failure of leadership? And if it is leadership, who should be held accountable? And again, Mr. Msimamo, having in mind that last year we saw the floods, the floods did a lot of destruction. This year it is worse, and there's a probability that next year it will be worse than what we are seeing this year. At this point, what are the things that the citizens are supposed to do now that the political class have neglected them? Msimamo.
Nafikiri nilikuwa nimetangulia kulizungumza, lakini kabla ya yote nimshukuru kaka yangu, salamu zako nimezipokea Mibuda. Na dada yangu kule na upande wa pili Judith apokee pia zangu. Nilikuwa nimelizungumzia awali hili kaka, kwamba utepetevu upo kwa viongozi wa kaunti na upo kwa viongozi wa serikali kuu. Ikiwa wanaweza enda kwa mkutano na waseme tuna allocate bilioni kadhaa ama tumetenga bilioni kadhaa kwa ajili ya barabara hii, mbona si hizi floods ambazo zimeathiri na si mara ya kwanza hii, ukasema labda ni mara ya kwanza, ni mara ya pili katika hili jimbo kukumbwa na mvua kama hizi na mambo yakawa kama haya. So for really utepetevu kwa viongozi na hawako katika seriousness ya mwananchi, hawana utu na mwananchi. The more wanakufa, the more unaona wanapendezwa zaidi, kwa sababu tungekuwa inakujali basi hata wale ambao wako Dubai kule kwenye nchi za Arabuni ambao kumechafuka, tungejua watu wetu wapendwa wetu wamepata nafasi ya kufika nyumbani, lakini bado mpaka sasa hivi iko zi. Sasa kama hilo tu liko zi na nitaangia wiki yote hili nalo litakuwaje? So hizi ni lawama mimi nitaziweka kwa viongozi na nitasema wanatubeba kuwa kanga wenye chongo tunafukulia wenye macho, kwa sababu haiwezekani mambo ambayo hayana tija yanawekwa kipaumbele yenye tija kama hii masuala na floods ambazo ni usalama wa mali na vilevile pia watu. Sasa hiyo hasara ambayo imeenda, nani wa kuweza kulipa? Kama hawa ni si uongo huu unaozungumzwa, wataweza kulipa hii hasara? Nyumba zilizobomolewa, vitu vilivyokwenda na maji, uhai uliokwenda, nani wa kulipa hasara hii? So kiukweli ni maneno ambayo wanazungumza kana kwamba wapo, lakini wamechangia hili, kwa sababu lingekuwa limepata suluhu tangia awali, kwa sababu uwezo wa kufanya hilo upo. Haya mamilioni yanayotembea, mamilioni tunayoona akipimwa kwa mizani, mamilioni tunayoona akipewa na kina Jalango, yaani hizi pesa ambazo tunapewa tunaziona wananchi zinafaa kutengeneza hili, kwa sababu ndio hela zetu, huo ni ushuru wetu. Basi utengeze hizi floods, angalau iwe ni taifa litakalokuwa na tija na kuheshimu haswa maisha ya wale wanaongoza, but halipo hili. So ni propaganda na kila kitu kumeingizwa siasa, ndio maana tumeishia hapa. Watu wakifanya mwanya wa kuingia kwenye siasa, basi imekuwa ni desturi na kawaida kwamba unajitengenezea kwanza, kisha baadaye ndio unawaangalia wale kidogo kuwachukua punje ama kuwatupia chambo, ili wakinasa wabaki katika ushabiki, wakiwa na siasa wanayao. Kwa hivyo wamefika usiku off guard this time around for the second time, hususan serikali kuu na serikali ya county imezembea zaidi, kwa sababu huu si mji mdogo, ni mji ambao ndio uti wa mgongo wa hili taifa. Uko na mamilioni ya watu wanaishi katika huu mji, so si mji kwamba shtukizi la mvua kama hivyo la hafla likiingia, basi tunashuhudia mambo ambayo yanasikitisha kama haya ya maafa na uharibifu wa mali, haswa kuzingatia watoto wanalala mashule na watu wanalala mashule, mazingira mabaya. So it's like sasa hivi tutegemea outbreak ya cholera, na sasa sijui sasa kama wataweza kumudu hayo matibabu, kwa sababu ikiwa tu sasa hivi takrimu za vifo zimezidi haswa na kutokana na uzembe ambao uko katika mahospitali mengi, ndio maafa yamekuwa mengi zaidi. So viongozi wetu ni wenye kupongeza wakati mtu amekufa na kufanya yanayotija, lakini kama hili la kuhusika kuziba ufa hawawezi. So wacha wajenge ukuta ama waondoke basi, halafu wenye kujenga ukuta wajenge ukuta madhubuti. Asante.
Okay, thank you. Msimamo, maybe kabla nilete Miguda, hata nikuulize hii swali ambayo Miguda naye pia alikuwa amepeana maoni, ndio we move to the next one together. The political dimension of all these particular scenarios and challenges that we are seeing here in Kenya. We are seeing ODM has done what we call a planned meeting, likely to strategize, to discuss the party's direction, to show unity. But Orengo and Sifuna team are saying no, and they're saying that the meeting that has been called is not structured and it is not constitutional, according to their statement. They're saying they're not going to attend. But on the other hand, we are seeing other parties, the UDA, the DCP, political parties and in the political mode. So the question I want to ask you is, this move by Sifuna and Orengo, is it a principled stand? Was it political strategy? Or was it simply detachment from the suffering of the people? Or what is it that is happening on the political stand? Politics is about perception, Bwana Msimamo. And at times in crisis, perception become reality. If leaders are absent when when citizens suffer, the people see themselves as being abandoned. So what is your view? What do you think about Orengo, Sifuna? Were they right to skip this meeting, or should they show up? And what does their absence say about that particular meeting? And again, you can give us your general views on the other meetings of the politicians that were carried across the country. Msimamo?
Asante. Kwangu mimi nadhani hili tumelizungumzia muda sana. ODM haitakuwa kama ilivyokuwa kwa sababu ya huu mgawanyiko. Ukweli lazima tuzungumze, hata wakipamba wakinadi namna gani haitarudi vile, kwa sababu na wasiwasi kwanza na ndugu zangu wa Mombasa kina Joho, kwa kila wale demand kwamba lazima wao wapewe nafasi ya deputy wa rais. So sijui kama itakuwa kweli wakianza kuvutana baadaye kule tendako, si itakuwaje? Na kama watavutana basi inazidi kufa swa ODM. Lakini kwa nini hawajakwenda wala hawajakubaliana na mwaliko wa UNDC? La kwanza ni kambe kuna hiyo revenge mission ambayo ipo, kwa sababu Sifuna hajakubaliana na mpango mzima wa kumuunga mkono rais aliyopo madarakani, lakini vile vile kwa ndugu zake wale ambao ni wanachama, haswa wale ambao ni viongozi wa ODM, pia na kutofautiana haswa hadharani kimtazamo, hawa wakiimba sisi tunataka power na wale wakiimba sisi tunasimama na wananchi. So nakuta itakuwa ngumu haswa katika mwaliko huu, kwa sababu katiba ni kambe ya chama iliachwa kitambo, lakini vile vile pia propaganda ambayo inaenezwa na hawa viongozi kuhusiana na mkataba ule ambao umetiwa saini na marehemu mwenda zake baba yetu Raila Odinga, kwamba wana utafsiri tofauti. Upande wa broad based government unasema hakuna mahali ambapo ulisema kwamba mwisho ni tarehe fulani, na wale wengine wanasema ni mwisho haswa, that would be the last. So unakuta hapo kuna mzunguko, kuna mvutano hapa. So katika hii hali sidhani kama hoja mtarudi as normal, kwa sababu it's like the new now witnessing he has support from somebody else. So and Kwa hilo kwa kweli itakuwa ngumu sana haswa kurudi katika ile heshima iliyokuwa nayo haswa katika masuala mazima hayo. Pili na mwisho kabisa, Orengo na Sifuna wana haki ya kutohudhuria kama kweli katiba ya chama na mwongozo wa chama haujafuatwa kikamilifu. Orengo alizungumza kwamba haswa wale ambao wana mandate ni Junet na haswa na Sifuna, na kama Junet anavutia upande huu na Sifuna anavutia upande ule, basi siku zote tunaelewa kwamba aliofungwa katikati hapa ni chama cha ODM. Sifuna yuko huku na watu wake na Junet na Wanga na watu wake wamefunga chama cha ODM. So atakayeshindwa nguvu hapa, basi chama kitaelekea upande huo. Uzuri kielekee mahali ambapo kuna wananchi, kwa sababu ni chama cha wananchi, kilisimama na kupendwa kwa sababu ya yale misingi ambayo ilikuwa inazungumzia haswa kumgusa mwananchi, lakini vile kiongozi wake pia akiwa anasimama na mwananchi kwa miaka na hili taifa, so katengenezwa maarufu. So sidhani kama katika hii hali ambayo kuna mvutano huu ama kuna lazima ya hawa kuhudhuria pale kama kikatiba na mwongozo wa katiba yao ya chama umewekwa chini. So it's like inapangwa hii tu kutoka mahali ingine ili kuonyesha kwamba ODM bado iko hai, bado tunakuwa na nguvu na nini, lakini kwa kweli kila twendako inazidi kudidimia, but kwa na haki ya kuhudhuria ama wasihudhurie. Asante. Alafu pia ulikuwa umeniambia nizungumze yale ambayo amejiri haswa. Ni interview tulisikiza haswa ya Sifuna, na si not interview pale alipozungumza kule shule na wale wanafunzi, akazungumza haswa mengi, lakini vile vile pia Gachagua na timu yake na Kalonzo yale ameweza kuzungumza. So ni mengi ambayo amejiri leo haswa katika taifa, hasa kwenye nyanza za siasa. Kwa hiyo siwezi nikazungumza yote, na tuone labda pengine liwe ni jambo ambalo litakuwa ni mmeniuliza swali kufungamana nalo, basi nitajibu kadri vyenye ambavyo mmeniuliza, lakini kiukweli nimepita pita, kuna mengi ambayo nimeweza kuyashuhudia. Asante.
Okay, thank you so much. And Miguda, maybe your comments again on this particular challenges that are being faced, and I'll ask you some general question, Mr. Miguda, and then you can give us your view. Should politicians pause campaign and meetings during disasters, or in politics itself part of leadership? If they don't pause, does that mean they are disconnected from reality, Mr. Miguda? Does ODM split, Orengo and Sifuna refusing to attend, show principle, or does it show disconnection from the people? Or, and if it is principle, what principle are they standing on? And my other question to you, Miguda, before I give you my last, before we get to the last segment, is a Nairobi flood more about nature or about failed governance that keeps repeating the same mistakes? And if it is governance, why hasn't it changed after decades of flooding? Miguda, you'll give us your take on that, and then Simamo will give his take, and then we'll get to the final segment.
Okay, first, the politicians cannot pause their campaigns. I don't know if Msimamo can hear me. Msimamo is the one having a problem. Okay, the politicians cannot pause their campaigns, their interests, for the sake of Mwananchi. Because you have crisis or crisis in the country, will not make the pause. Generally, you need to pause to demonstrate leadership. As a leader, whenever you have a crisis, you can decide to pause your ambitions, your interests, and take keen interest on the concerns of the people. Because you are a leader, you are their leader, you are the person whom they have vested the power to lead on their behalf. So it's always prudent for you to come back to the people and get the real issue with them, not necessarily giving the people handout. Sometimes leaders are afraid to go to the people because of handouts. You can have policies that are in operational to ensure that such circumstances does not get us where we are today. That is one. So I don't believe so. And what I want to believe is that there shall be such policies, even if they are not there. So leadership and politicians are two different things. There is no, most of these politicians, a good number of them are not leaders. You can find only maybe 2% of them who are the born leaders. Those people want to lead. But a good number of them were sycophants. A good number of them are loyalists. A good number of them are in praise and worship choir, whereby they praise and worship leaders. A good number of them are not principal leaders. So do not expect them to behave like leaders. Expect them to behave like politicians because that's what they are. They're part of praise and worship team, and they're also, some of them are not doing it for passion. Some are just in politics to make money and business and to make deals. Some are not there for the people. The issue of Orengo Sifuna promising to miss the NDC, I don't want to be seen as someone who is pro Orengo or Sifuna. I don't want to give my view as someone who is pro Orengo Sifuna. I don't want to say that it's a matter of principality. It is not principality because I believe that all of them have history. To me, it is just strategy. Strategy because, and also there are many things they're avoiding. If Oburu call NDC today, Sifuna Babu Orengo march with the youths at NDC, you know what can happen. It will be violent, it will be chaotic, it will be vicious, and we are going to claim some injuries or some lives of the people. So for the sake of peace and for the sake of tranquility, you can decide to withdraw because politics will not end at NDC. Politics is like coffee. Coffee is sweet every day. Today we have coffee, tomorrow we can have coffee, and so on and so forth. Even next month, April, there will be coffee. Even December, even next year after election, coffee will still be sweet. So coffee will not end today or next week. Politics will not end with the NDC. After NDC, there's going to be a sweeter politics than ever. So if we are going there to claim lives, we can withdraw, but not a matter of principalities. It's a matter of strategy and a matter of political wisdom because those people have planned for them, in my view. Because you understand right now, they're pro William Ruto, pro government. They're going to be given enough GSC officers. They're going to be given enough Reke squad. They're going to be given enough administrative officers so that anybody who want to contradict the NDC of Oburu will meet the full measure of law. They're going to be given enough DCI's officers, and they're going to protect that area, the maximum security. So when you come in with delegates or you march in with your boys can be arrested, some can be abducted, some can be shot. Even you yourself, you are not safe. So it's not, sometimes it's not coward. Sometimes it's not you are coward. Sometimes it's very good to withdraw. Even if you are fighting a war, you can retreat, then strategize, hit back very hard because it's a process. Like I've told you, politics will not end with the NDC. The NDC will not culminate the politics of Kenya for the rest of the lives. It's just but a beginning. That's how I want to view it. But people like Orenga have been in the trenches. They are senior, they understand. Sometimes you need to, you fight, retreat, you strategize. It's part of maneuvering politically because sometimes you don't need to face your opponent directly. You can use other tactics and you can hit him very hard at the end of the punch. So Makobura, that question is well answered. And you have also said the issue of, I've seen the issue of Nairobi County, but let me respond to my friend that Nairobi should be given to national. I don't think so, because we have residents of Nairobi. Nairobi residents, you understand, there are people living in Nairobi permanently. There are people who are subscribed to Nairobi services. They pay taxes in Nairobi. They need services by that county. There's no way I can pay my services to the city. I pay my taxes. That's why I purchase my food, my clothes. I pay my rent. I pay my water. Pay my tokens. My kids are going to those schools. And you want to tell me that I should be excluded from county services? How? We have one national government that serves even Turkana, even Garissa, even Wajir. Why do you want to exclude me? They are permanent residents of Nairobi. That Nairobi ndio nyumbani. Nairobi is home to some people. So they should be given those services. So I don't think that should be an idea right now. Or what we should just do as a people, or the Nairobi resident, to ensure that we get it right. The leadership we are electing, a governor who cannot be manipulated by the president, a governor who can act at the interest of Nairobians, not cartels. That's how we can resolve this issue. But just trying to think outside the box that it is now what you have asked me about is nature. I don't think so, bro. It can't be nature. These are just issues that can be addressed by the government in place. Because if you're discussing about drainage, how does nature connect with drainage? I don't get the sense. Drainage is drainage. You do good drainage, there will be no flooding. You wait for nature to do for you what? Finally, the issue of connection, disconnection. I can report to you here without any fear of contradiction that there's a disconnect between leaders and the people. There's a disconnect between subjects and the leaders in this country. The rulers does not represent the real views of the people. They don't represent the real interests of the people. They don't represent the actual pressing issues of the people. The people are trying to be loud, to talk by themselves on whatever they want, but no one is resolved to represent those issues. So that disconnect will lead to whatever you have seen before in the past, because we don't get each other. The government doesn't get us. We don't get them. How do you operate that? So you are operating a system whereby there's a disconnect, and I think that's why many people are talking for revolution. Many people are talking for overhaul, and so on and so forth. Back to you.
Okay, thank you. Maybe I'll bring forth some two questions on the wider governance, and I would want you to just give your view on. Do you think Kenyan's political system is built to solve problems, or is it built to protect power? And if it is power, how do citizens break that cycle? That is a question that I want to hear your view on. And then on, as a Kenyan, I want you to also give your view in this. I want to hear from you. Should leaders suspend political meetings during national disaster? Does ODM split show strength or weakness in leadership? Are floods in Nairobi more about nature and failed governance? And you've given me your view on that. And so your voice, of course, matters, because leadership without accountability is just noise. And if you are in charge, what's the first step, Meguda, would you take to stop Nairobi from drowning every rainy season? And your closing remarks before I give my last remarks as well. Meguda.
Okay, you can hear me.
Yes, proceed.
Okay, first let me say that the ODM split doesn't show any strength. It shows weakness and it shows bad leadership. There's no good leadership. You could be having a good leadership structure whereby there's this inclusivity with young people. Actually, like I've said before, Oburu should be a leader for ODM in acting capacity for transition to be effective. Then go back to the back office where he has been since he was born as a counterpart for Raila. He has been in the back office. Raila has always been the forefront. So when Raila died, he was there to guide the people on transition so that once we get the younger leader as a party leader taking over ODM, we could have not have this split in ODM. Today, if you give this ODM to younger people and also allow the views of Sifuna to be converted, where will the Sifuna and Babu go? They will stay there with the likes of Caleb and the young people. The old guys, right now, their time is over. Someone is 86 years old. What is he doing in parliament? At 86, what are you doing in parliament? Are there no people who can legislate in this country? So there's a problem in leadership in ODM. So splitting of it doesn't demonstrate their strength, but demonstrate their poor leadership. That's what the problem is. So that is their problem. It doesn't concern me. Let them solve their problems. As we are in the country, we are ready to work with anybody who will incorporate our views as young people. But there's too much to handle. I don't want to add I don't want to add many problems into my schedule, like the issue of ODM. That's their own problem. What I want to say is that you asked me that if I could be in the position of governance, or if I could be in the position of county leadership, what could I have done so that I can resolve these issues once and for all? Or if I could be the governor of Nairobi, what could I have done to resolve this issue amicably? Mark Obura, I have a solution for the Nairobians, and I have also my views. For now, that is my own reservation, and I cannot disclose it to the public because it's something we have thought of, including Nairobi Water. You understand the issue of Nairobi Water Commission? Yeah, the Nairobi Water Commission. We have researched about Nairobi Water Commission, and we know what we want. So unless they hire us, or unless we are in that capacity, will be in solution. For now, that is self-reservation. We are going to watch as they mess up big, so that when time comes, young people take over the country. We are there to solve to assist to resolve the issues around. For now, let them mess big for us to be given so that we can get an easy time to get them out of the offices. We cannot offer our free services to them. My last remark, just to be precise, I want to appreciate our viewers who have come to the show and they have engaged us in the conversation. I want to appreciate our good friend Gudia. I want to appreciate our good friend Judith. I also want to appreciate you for hosting. I want to appreciate Simamo for coming to the show as a panelist, and also to request the viewers to subscribe, share, and always stay tuned here at Bro Benson Media. By God's grace, we are here until we are just working on some logistics so that we can be at rallies. When politics will initiate very effectively, we can have our people on the ground so that they can give us full coverage of what is happening at both camps, so that we can have a very comprehensive analysis here. And the channel will be big. We have just venture into governance, leadership, and democracy, constitutionalism, social justice, equality, defense of human rights, and so on and so forth. And also we insist that your opinion counts. We can disagree with you. It is
Okay, thank you. And barabara za kwenda Singapore viongozi wanakula. There's a song that is currently out stating that the roads which are heading to Singapore being eaten by the political class. Yeah, so allow me to just, of course, give my final remarks before I acknowledge and say a big thank you to everyone. So tonight, of course, we've seen how Nairobi's flood exposed both infrastructure failure and political detachment. And as I leave you with these thoughts, if politics keeps drowning out people's pain, who will rescue Kenya from its circle of neglect? This has been our deep dive into ODM, floods, and the bigger question of leadership. So you can always join the debate because Kenya's future depends on it. And, over here, of course, we do say that your opinion counts. And, I want to tell our viewers that if you are watching for the first time, we implore you to kindly like and subscribe to this channel, because if you do so, it is a way of supporting us. And whenever you subscribe or you like, it is a way of supporting us. Na sisi hapa, of course, we'll always say a big thank you. Yeah, so allow me to acknowledge the presence of everyone who joined us today, including Benson, Elga, Awish, Florence, and again on the comment section I can see Goodyear. Thank you so much, Goodyear, for your consistency. I saw a good friend, Judith Caritha. She was here. Thank you so much, Judith, for as well finding time to be with us, to join us while giving us your views. We really, really appreciate everyone else who also joined. We appreciate, not forgetting the panel section where we had Miguda and Simamo, whom have all given their views. We really appreciate their time, and I want to take this opportunity to once again appreciate everyone and to tell you that you should always keep safe, especially during this rainy season that is not easy to predict. Kindly, before leaving, try to ensure that you are safe. Avoid crossing through these flooded areas. Yes, so those would be my last remarks. I want to take this opportunity once again to thank everyone, and of course to wish you all a blessed morning, a blessed afternoon, a blessed evening, a blessed night from wherever you're watching us from. We really appreciate it, and God bless you. Thank you so much, and see you again tomorrow.